So welcome peeps to session number 4,
Yeah.
Organic Garden Sessions. We are again in our garden with Ghiel the best.
So nice. Now we already have talked about everything behind the cameras.
Ghiel was on time and
And we're on time with our live today. So that's
and we have invited Ghiel because he graduated last summer, 2019, from
Yes.
the Minerva Academy, and he graduated with an album.
Yep.
And personally, it had big impact on me. I saw it as the first work. It was recommended by a friend. There was a car inside the space. You could sit inside the car. There were 2 seats and watch and listen to the whole album. And I listened to it from beginning to end and was really impressed by the honesty of it and the, integrity, let's say, like owning what was his, I will call it.
That was beautiful. I like that.
Yeah. and I had the feeling like I don't need to see any more work because it can't get better than this. So I'm very happy.
here we're going. I was there too.
So excuse me to all of the other students, but it really made an impression on me. And yeah, if every student could deliver to that level,
So if this is the last organic session, you know why. You brought this up here.
It doesn't get better than this.
No, but it definitely, like me and Ghiel, we were in the same class, and I got to see like the whole process also behind it, and how like.
Yeah,
wow.
you feel like you got to see that? Because I feel like really like
Yeah.
the last 2 years of my academy, like I wasn't really there. Like I was just
Oh,
hiding.
come on. You were coming on Thursdays.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, I think there was also a big transformation, like, in the last half year. Like, I don't know if I'm right, but from your green lights, like, work and how you like, came to your final, and I came there and I was, like, blown away. I was like, wow. Like, I mean, you described a lot of times before what you were planning to do, but actually realizing it, I think it was also for you a very complicated, big step, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was figuring out media that I'd never ever worked in before. Like, because also like the music thing, like I didn't start making music up until 3 years ago. So I was making an album and producing all of the album without like really knowing what I was doing. So like I couldn't be like quick with it. Like I really had to take some time for that, and that's also why there were like multiple versions of the album like online on SoundCloud, because I was like, okay, so I have this now. Okay, let's just put this out, start over, do it again, put it out, start over, and in that way, just I don't know, trying to learn everything as quick as I could.
And was it maybe, like I wonder how, like, so that's all sort of, let's say, technique and skills that you had to learn
Yeah.
to be able to make music. Did that make content less of an issue? Like, did you just sort of fill that in as you were going? Like,
Well,
or
I really
was-
did have like a, I really had like a concept for the album. Like it really is a concept project. So also, and I still have this folder. Like I had an entire folder which was all, like of course all the lyrics, but also like all the references. And in the back there was like sketches of storylines, and I still use that on the album that I'm working on right now. Like I don't know. I really like story structure. I'm very fascinated by it. I cannot watch a movie without thinking, oh, we are here now. Oh, they're taking this detour, and I did that for the album as well. So like the content, in a way, like I was using the structure to like, okay, we're gonna go around like this. So this song is gonna come over here. Now we're gonna have to talk about this and this and this to end up over there. And
so it was nearly like the content was there and you had to fix out mediums and skills to give this its right place.
Yeah.
But I think
Okay.
that's why also, like, we were just talking before, maybe I have to recap a bit about this difficulty of bringing these two things together, like fine arts and the rap music and making it one. And I think like maybe that's what you did very skillfully, because of course you have this concept that really to me kind of comes from the art background a lot.
Yeah,
and then you have these technical things also from the like more music side of it. So when you bring, I think, this together, like you bridge these two. Do you think so? Like, is there like influencing from both?
yes, yes and no. I don't know. I'm especially now. I'm like even more uncertain about it because I feel like I don't know. Like like when I started studying fine arts, when you get into an academy, like the like the gallery space is really like the that's the end goal. Like that's really perceived as like that's the place where you're gonna do it. That's why like every academy has like gallery spaces. No, I know there's
Yeah,
always
yes.
leeway. We
Yeah.
all know this, but it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Well, especially when that's your idea of
yes, and during my 5 years of academy, I was always pushing that away in different ways, in different media, with different concepts. Um, and I feel like with my graduation project, I already took like a very big step towards like really making any space my own. And um, but especially now that I'm graduated, like I really do not feel any urge to like be accepted by any sort of institution. And it's not even like a it's not even something that I do like on purpose or that I think about on purpose or I'm like how should I go about this right now. It's really like I'm just doing what I want to do. And I mean currently like I'm working on Instagram filters and an album, but also I might be starting a video game. And I might be getting back into making clothing, who knows.
yeah.
I'm not even thinking about like where am I going to present this. Like I feel like the whatever it will be, like it will find a place, or I will find a place for it that will make sense. And that's also why I don't want to, because I really want to move abroad. And people are like, so you're going to do a master, like that's the easy
Yeah.
way. That's the easiest way to like make your way to a different country. But I really don't want to go to school again. I really, really don't. Like I do not want anyone in any way being able to tell me or even suggest me of where to go.
It's funny you should mention this because we've also been thinking about this a lot lately.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like how to find a space for learning
Mm.
outside the institute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because as soon as it's paradoxical, especially art inside an institute.
Yeah, yeah.
So of course we all want to develop our thinking. I have personally like what's like a bad reaction allergy to the word research and
Ooh,
artistic
yeah.
research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually I was in my studio a couple of days ago, and a friend of mine, she was like sitting on the couch reading a book, studio mate, and I was just watching a YouTube tutorial on how to make a certain thing like within the software in which I make music. She's like, "Oh, you're doing research?" I'm like, "I'm doing what?" I'm watching a tutorial. Like that's it.
But this is a language that comes a lot with the academy also, like this.
It's
to
a
put
lingo.
everything
Yeah,
into a kind of
yeah.
bigger
It really
context.
is a lingo, and I don't know. Indeed, like I got a little bit allergic to it. Like
Yeah.
I also feel like it's a lingo that kind of like hovers towards status, and I'm just.
But do you have like a idea of what would be an alternative, like to such a, like for you, what works, like to just go forward, you just work and
Well, I feel blessed being born in '94, which is actually the year that internet got introduced to the Netherlands. Um, and I feel a very strong connection to it. It really is a culture that I feel a part of, and I feel also like, and I'm not even talking about how schools are like doing their teaching right now because of Corona, because honestly, I feel like it's a piece of shit.
yeah.
But if you really look around on the internet, you don't even have to try your hardest. But there's so many people who just do everything there and have learned everything there. I haven't taken a single like actual music class, not a single one.
Okay.
But I got to play the Melkweg. That makes
Yeah.
no sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it happened regardless. And there's so many more of me. Like
Yeah.
so
And
it's. And I've posed myself this question for years already, like especially in regards to arts, like how would you go about this? And I got no answers. It's
Yes.
but you don't see, learning can be independent because
for sure. Like community is
yeah,
crucial, and I feel like, especially a school like Minerva, like really offers an amazing community, and I'm really.
Well, I think that's the top thing that it offers, actually.
Yes.
Like this feedback from each
For
other
sure.
rather than anything else.
Yeah, but also just the love there. Like it's really
supportive.
It's really supportive. It's really familiar and just like warm, and I feel like within Holland, like Minerva is a really special place for that. I'm happy I got to be a part of that, and happy I got to make friends like you, and like. I know. I feel like with education, like community is crucial. I feel like also with education, like face to face, that's crucial. But I'm not really sure what will be the ultimate way. Like it definitely like it has to be something very fluid, something very pragmatic at the same time. Like
fluid and pragmatic. But you would like to travel or live somewhere else.
Well, that's the thing. I don't like to travel.
Okay.
It's not something that I really enjoy. But I do like to live in new places. And,
Okay. So different.
It's a different way. Like I like to just go somewhere and settle for a while. Like even if it's only for 2 weeks, like let me just really settle. And there, I don't know. There's a couple of places on Earth that I would really like to settle down for a while. Yeah, I got like a bucket list. Like, like I want to go there. I want to go there. I want to go there. Like, and just really get to know the place. Yeah, but I don't think I want to do that through education.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of the obvious way to do it. Like, yeah.
It's the obvious next step. Like you got your bachelor's, go do your master's.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe in a couple of years, I'll feel the urge to do a master's.
Yeah.
I'll feel the need for it. I think that's also very important that you have that. That you have the need to be part of a new community or to learn something new, or just be shaken by people that you don't know.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm just happy to be in my studio every day and just work. I mean, I still have so many ideas to just get out and get done. I mean, I definitely have to put out 2 albums before I can even think about. I need to get to like a blank slate, you know.
Okay.
And then I don't know. I might even do entirely new media. We'll see.
Yeah.
And what about your new album? Can you share a bit? Or I'm super curious.
What do you want to know?
What can you tell me?
Uh,
Is it a new process, or you've been working on it quite some time, or?
Well, the concept has been there, I think, for 2 years already. Because quite quickly, when I started on the first album, I was like, okay, I want to do Drive, I want to do Playground Zero, and there's going to be a third one. I'm not entirely certain on the name, so I'm not going to say it. But the second one, which is what I'm working on right now, is going to be called Playground Zero. It's very much about dichotomy, contrast, growth and decay at the same time. And in that sense also nature. There's 7 songs right now. Yeah, 7 demos are done. Maybe I shouldn't even say that. There's going to be people hitting me up like, whoa, I need to hear this right now. What the hell? Yep. But yeah, there's 7 songs right now. I really want to go for like the full length album.
Okay.
I'm doing some crazy pop star shit. I'm singing on this.
Wow.
And what's actually really nice is that last Thursday, I did a session with Amaya.
Oh, nice.
We worked on something very beautiful. It's far from done, but I think it's going to be really lovely.
Wow, exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's some cool stuff on the way, and I think it's going to be mostly. I think that how I'm going to put it out, release it. I don't think I'm going to do like a physical happening like I did with Drive, especially seeing the situation right now. I think I'm going to go full digital with this, and see how much of an experience I can create there. So that's also where like the interest in game design came from. And
Yeah.
like two of my favorite colleagues are working on game design right now. So I'm like, every time they show me shit, I'm like, oh my god.
And did you like the first album when you were working on that? Did you already know that you wanted to do these other two?
No.
And
Yeah.
is
So
it-
also
is it-
like the last song on the previous album, like Homer, theme wise and sound wise, like it was already like when I was making it, I knew like, okay,
like
this is the
teaser.
introduction to the next album.
okay.
So
Like
I'm
a
also
teaser.
like I'm starting this album with a song called Subaru, which is all about driving fast cars, which is one big reference to like the previous
Mhm.
album.
Yeah.
So in that case, like yeah, it's
And how do you like start to get things like? Do you write? Do you draw? Like, how do you take your ideas from like a mental space to a physical or a digital space? Like, what's your process?
I write a lot. I mean, of course, I write a lot of lyrics every day, but also just my journal is actually very functional within my process. Like I really use it. Like also just the,
You mean like journaling every day, kind of?
Diary, like.
maybe not like every day, but at least like every week.
Mm-hmm.
Just like new ideas and realizations, um, and well, coming back to like research, like I really like I don't know. I find like palettes. So like I have like a secret Spotify playlist that's just full of songs where I'm like, okay, I need this sound, I need that sound, I need that vocal, I need that this sort of song structure, and also story structures. I have two different story structures right now. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna end up settling with, but that's all right. Um, so in a way, when I started on this project, like it kind of like I'm curating at the same time because also I'm curating visuals. Like I'm collecting so much stuff,
And
and
you
I'm
work
just
alone? Like you do the whole process on your own, like the visual, sound, lyrics, or you have
I work with quite some
Okay.
people.
no?
Like,
Because
I like
curating
to-
also sounds like you have a whole team
Yeah, but in
to
a way, like
manage
I'm also I don't want to use the word curating there, but I'm also like finding producers or vocalists to work with where I'm like, your
They
sound, I
feel-
really dig that, and there's a couple of really talented producers on this record. And I'm really happy to be working with them, and also local guys. Yeah, so it's I don't know, it's a lot of curating, but it's almost like working linear because I sort of know what the start is, where's the middle, where's the end, and even though like I don't know exactly what it's going to be, of course, but it's like, okay, I got one song done. What's the next chapter? It's this chapter, so we're going to write about this, and then I continue like that all the time, and I don't know, I got stuck for like 3 weeks on one song. I kept banging my head on it, like, oh my god, what the hell? Like, I couldn't figure it out. Like, I had the lyrics, couldn't find a production for it, and I ended up doing a very. I don't know. I was watching this interview with this dude who did sound design for a video game. I don't exactly remember who or what video game even, but there was one thing that he said that really stuck with me. That like. He said that once every 2 weeks, him and his entire crew, they would come into the studio, make random stuff, and like put the weirdest effects in the wrong orders, and just try and find like things to come out of things. I'm like, what the hell is this? Just experiment, just play, and like not with an intention to come to any sort of result. And I realized that I hadn't done that in quite some time. So one morning I just came into the studio and I picked up one of my microphones, set a tempo, and just started singing. Even though I'm not a good singer at all.
Yeah, but what's good, you know, that's also
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I just started throwing effects on it. A lot of them, going through presets that I never even touched before. Like I saw interfaces, I was like, what does this button do? I really don't know. And I started coming to sounds that I've never heard this before. I sound like a fucking alien. Now I sound like a synthesizer. Like, this is really out of space shit. And next day the song was done.
Cool.
And I wasn't planning to make a song whatsoever. It just,
Yeah.
and it was the song that I needed. Like, it was the song. It was a chapter
Yeah.
that I was missing. And I was like, oh, bingo, finally got it.
Yeah. But this is sort of the paradox of creative work.
Yeah.
Right? Like one time you were an artist and doing your work, you know, you sort of go to the studio with this mindset of, okay, I do this, and it becomes nearly an uncreative
Yeah.
work.
It
And
becomes
as soon you
mechanic.
have to be able to give yourself again
Yeah.
this freedom.
Yeah.
So it's always sort of with your ideas, with your skill set, looking for the freedom
Yeah.
to get your content in.
Yeah.
But what I think, or what I find, like, well, with your album that I saw, like, I'm super interested in your content, and I wonder if you could say something about that, because I just found it so honest. And I think it could be so many people that, okay, if you look back, yeah, there's a lot of shitty things, you know, it wasn't quite what you wanted.
Not always, though.
Totally not, but you had, like, really no inhibitions to just share that, and that's what really struck me. So I wonder if you could say
What?
something about that.
I mean, that really started out as just like a daily life thing. Like, that had nothing to do with the music. That was just me.
Struggling.
No, actually healing.
Yeah.
Finding a way to cope with it, because it wasn't going to go away. None of that is ever going to go away. And it's more of like coming to terms. It's about acceptation. I think a lot of that album, and that's especially with the final song, like Homer, that's very much about acceptation. I mean, it's even in the title. Like, the title is Homer, which is, well, a reference to, like, the Greek Iliad, which is like the greatest adventure of all time, like stuck on islands and whatnot. But at the same time, it says home. So it's about these two things coming together and just embracing them and be like, okay, this is...
That the struggle is part of the journey. Like,
Exactly. And that sounds super fucking cliche, but it is true. And I don't know, just have to learn that. And
But how do you feel about putting it also out there? Because of course, like, this is your process to get to acceptation.
tricky
But
sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I will rap things that I'm like, I'm not sure if I want anyone to hear this. Like, I'll be saying things where I'm like, that's a fraction of my personality, but like blown up. And it might sound cool or it might sound fun, but at the same time, like, do I really want to portray myself like this? Are people gonna now see me in a different light? Especially when it comes to like the aggressive stuff, or like even things about love, where I'm like, this might be a little bit too intimate. Like, I'm not sure if I want people to even know this about me. Like,
And is it cathartic for you to do it? Like, do you sort of just get over stuff?
yeah. I mean, it's a very strong release.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like the moment where I put something somewhere and I get to dance to it. That's magic. Like,
Okay, yeah. That's double, like, it's the...
not only do I get to put it out, but I get to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
Yeah, like, physically in your body.
Yes, I get to feel it again and
Yeah.
again and again. And
Yeah.
yeah, in that way, it definitely is catharsis. But
does that create a distance also? Like, because
Ooh,
then,
good
like,
question.
okay,
I'm
this
not
is
sure.
kind of
I'm
there,
not
and
sure.
I can.
Yeah, it's maybe a bit on the edge, yeah. Or
I
maybe...
think, and maybe that's also something I've been struggling with during these whole Corona times. I feel like a lot of things that maybe I've put out already are now like at such a distance where I'm not. It's becoming a little hazy, and I'm like, oh yeah, that happened too. That's also a part of me. And
But do you think that, like, this Corona thing has changed, like, not just the thing of the distance of time since you put it out, but because we now know, like, that more people are dealing with, or maybe being a little bit more honest with themselves, which you were trying to do at
wait, can you say that again?
that, let's say, now people are being a bit more forced to deal with themselves or to go inwards a little bit more.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, that's a bit of a generalization.
Yeah, I know, but I
You're by
understand.
yourself more.
Yeah.
Do you think that that changes how you look back at what you did?
Me.
Yeah. Or how it feels now to have shared what you did?
I'm not sure. I'm really not. I feel like also right now I'm a bit of in a transition. I'm not sure where I'm coming from or where I'm going to, but I feel like there's something changing about me right now.
Yeah.
So I can't answer that.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's and I'm not even sure if this is like self-reflection induced by the lockdown, because I'm still doing the same stuff that I was doing before. I mean, I'm just going to work every morning, then going to the studio all day, and then I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And I do that every day.
Yeah. No, but that's what I mean, like that you sort of had this self-reflection
Yeah.
before this happened. So I think for a lot of people, maybe it's a new place to go to. Yeah,
Oh,
for you it stays the
for
same.
sure, yeah.
But I think the fact that you can do it in your album, like maybe it has now more relevance to more people.
Could be. I hope so.
Yeah.
Could be great. Yeah.
I mean, I found it great before, like, and super honest, but like now I think maybe
I mean, it's
more
really special
people
to
are
me
opening
when.
to that honesty.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe it was too much for some people then.
It is a lot.
You know, it was
It
intense.
is
It's
a
confronting. It's like, whoa, don't tell me all of this stuff. But at the same time, it's like you're hitting a nerve. Like we all know that.
It's also with the responsibility as a viewer, because when you know this stuff about someone, then you have like a choice to make. I think like, okay, I'm a viewer, but I also now know Ghiel in a way that normally I wouldn't, like a very deep kind of way. So then I think it's like, it comes also from your own position, like being afraid to be so close to someone. Like it's not only what Ghiel does, okay, I put myself out there, but I think it's hard as a viewer to open up and take that in, you know, be like, okay, I am facilitating Ghiel and what he says, because it brings a lot, like a mirror to me at least.
Yeah,
it works as a mirror. You think like, okay, how much I have to give back to Ghiel, also like this responsibility. Yeah, I mean, it feels kind of like, maybe some people just see it as an art, like, okay, it's just art and I can take distance, but to me also it is a connection, like either you like it or not, and of course someone can question how much of it is honest also. Like, of course we talk about
people
honesty.
do this too.
Yeah, I can
They
imagine.
do,
I can imagine.
Yeah, I was confronted by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Can I ask by what? Or in what way?
Well, I can't even, like, I've done some homework recently and rewatched some stuff, but like online you don't see all of the visuals that I saw there and not all of the words so clearly, so it was a lot more clear then. But your openness to the life and the pain, like, it's nearly like a challenge to me, like, can I be that open to the pain in my life?
Yes.
And I think maybe for some people it's easier just to walk away from your work because you're going too close to something that hurts. So it wasn't, I don't even say it was easy to sit there and watch it for that hour. Like I was confronted with it. But you're daring to go there. Yeah, I pitch it up. Like,
I didn't see that coming.
So that's what it was for me. At the same time, I don't like you because you do confront me with it, you know. Seriously, like, can I be that real?
Feelings,
You know, like, I want to be as good as you.
Oh, stop. Don't do that.
But you push it. So I think it is confronting if you give it the chance.
Yes.
And I can imagine a lot of people didn't. I don't know it, but it pushes some buttons. And I don't think it's about you. It's about being a human in the world and having pain and having painful places.
No,
and that's something for everyone. You know?
No,
and if viewers, if you think it's not for you, rethink it. Free advice. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I think you're touching very universal sort of pain points.
I remember during my first year, this one of my very first weeks, and one of our teachers asked us to write like a couple of things down that we thought was like important to our work. And I remember writing down emotion, and like people responded to like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, shut the fuck up, you little.
We're very afraid though.
We're
from
artists.
Our,
Yeah, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean. I feel like I don't know within, especially within fine arts, there's a very big distance towards this,
Yeah.
and of course that's a symptom of postmodernism. Let's not get into that too much, but I remember feeling very like I was not allowed to go there. Like, and it wasn't until like I doubled my third year when I was like all bets are off. I don't care. At that point I was also like I don't care if you're gonna give me a diploma or not. I'm in deep debt. Regardless. I found this thing, or no, I didn't found this thing. I had this thing with me all along that I did not nourish, and I'm gonna go balls deep, like all in, and put all my money, all my energy in it, and I'm on a very weird track. I feel as an artist, or even maybe as a person, fuck it. But I feel at home here. Like I'm like I do all these things, yes, and I can talk about politics. I can talk about philosophy. I can talk about art theory. But I can also just talk about your mother, or how is your relationship, like. And all these things are the same to me. Like, there's very, very little difference, and I want to touch all of that. Yeah.
I think it's really nice that you say like emotions can be on the same, like not emotions necessarily, but it's very everyday things can be on the same level, like talking about, and maybe even more for me at least. Like it's more sometimes than talking about politics or general. Or so I because I think there's a lot of misconception around emotions, right? Like this suppression of emotions, and
It's also a question of communication. I feel like, I mean, of course, art is a form of communication, but I feel like people just like one-on-one are. We're not like taught from a very young age to like very skillfully communicate.
Yeah.
even the opposite, like
Yeah,
quite
maybe.
suppress the way we feel.
Yeah.
Do not cry, or especially boys, like, oh, you're a big
Manners.
boy, like,
Yeah,
don't
big
cry,
boy
or
shit, yeah.
you're not supposed to laugh loudly, kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah, more unlearning our learning.
Yeah.
In that
Say that
sense.
again?
It's like sort of unlearning our learning. Like, you know, we've learned to be polite, we've learned to act at this certain level of what's acceptable. Well, there's
Hiding
this
all
whole
this
lot of
personal,
stuff going on
yes.
in us. And at a certain point, I think for a lot of artists, it's just like what you said in your third year, like, but this is what it is, and I need to do this. So like it or don't like it,
Fuck it.
it's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also, I don't know. I don't feel like worrying anymore about people that are not gonna like my work,
Yeah.
or that actively dislike my work,
Yeah. Yeah.
or actively dislike me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's irrelevant to what you're doing. Yeah, you can't.
some
please
people are
everyone,
gonna
right?
some people are gonna like it. Some people are gonna love it.
Yeah.
I mean, at the first stage, I just do it because I feel like doing it, and I feel like other people can have good use for it, and why not? I mean, I really, really enjoy doing it. Makes me very, very happy. Very big goal in life too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. The ultimate learning. It's learning without the structure, you know? Like, this is what you feel you need to do and be.
Yeah.
And you're following that with or without the support of
An institution.
institutions. Or, you know, like public opinion.
Well, it's again about acceptance. Like, it comes back to accepting
Big word.
both your good and bad, like the contradictions we're talking about before into, like, I think it's all about accepting and balancing these things.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something, like
Okay.
talking about emotions. Like when we're talking about meeting today, like you said, okay, maybe you guys are afraid of me because of your work and stuff. And I'm like really curious, what's your opinion on this situation right now that we feel like this fear of each other, or like what's your, because you use the word fear, and of course I understand how you meant it, but like now talking also about relationships, we have come maybe to a point that we kind of are afraid of each other.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, how does this feel for you? Because you mentioned it, you know.
At the start of the whole lockdown thing, I mean, at first I was just very confused. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, do I really have to take this seriously? Then I got really, really scared, and I was like, I have to take this very, very seriously. And I was really frustrated also, like, with my side job, and I was like, why are we not, like, distancing? Why do I not have a face mask on right now? Like, I'm touching all these things. This might be dangerous. And then, I don't know, also something that's, like, consistently in the back of my mind, like, my mom has quite a severe autoimmune disease, and she's a risk, you know.
Yeah.
That's not a risk that I want to be taking. Like, it scares the living shit out of me. Like, yeah, it really scares the living shit out of me. Like, that would be like worst case scenario. And
And do you live with your mother together, or
no,
like,
no, she's quarantined by herself
We haven't seen her.
once. Very cherished. It was very hard to leave. Yeah. Um, yeah, and I don't know. I know that I am personally very exposed due to the work that I do, and I don't know. I try to be open about it to the people that surround me. Doesn't always work because sometimes people just surprise you.
Yeah.
But like all my studio mates know about it. I tell you guys about it. Like I'm working with a couple of producers like fully online right now because it's like
Yeah.
let's not take that risk
Yeah.
of coming together and work on music. Like, yeah, the process is different, and I really had to get used to it. I'm still not really used to it. Like, I don't know, it's difficult at times.
it's a weird
Yeah.
place to be also. Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to just like explain a scene to someone where it's like I'm seeing this and I'm hearing this, and you got to type all that bullshit. It's like it doesn't really work always. So like for instance, tomorrow I'm having a FaceTime meeting with a producer who like lives a couple of streets away.
Oh, wow. But do you having to be afraid of other people, like having to?
I do struggle with it. It's I feel like no. I said it before we went live. Like I feel like my social skills are depleting. Like now when I like run into a friend on the street, I'm like on the other side of the street, like don't come too close. Hey, what's up? Like I'm going home. It's yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm just like cocooning.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I have a couple of people around me that I like see like almost every day, and I feel like I'm very lucky to have that. Um, but towards other friends, like even just like keeping in touch over the phone, I'm not always that good at it. Like
Yeah. I can.
I haven't spoken to a couple of my best friends like ever since like this lockdown started. Like I haven't talked to them. Like
Yeah.
I'll see you when I see you. I guess. Like, yeah.
This is going off on a completely different tangent, and you don't have to answer it because it might be whatever. But I like just from knowing you through the one album that I saw and from your Insta.
Yeah.
Like I know that there's been addiction problems,
Sorry.
addiction issues.
Yeah.
And it looks like you've been quite honest about that has taken you quite deep down, and that you're trying to work on that. I'm wondering how that's going. and how it is to be like, even that I know this, to be open about this, that there's this extra layer that I'm also watching you.
Yeah. Which is weird at times. Indeed,
Yeah.
when people can actually, like, without knowing them. I mean, I met you like an hour ago,
Yeah.
and indeed, you know this
I know
about me.
this. And I'm very curious about it because I just think, like, well, I see in my circles and so many circles that addiction is an issue,
And then non-talk a lot of times. Like,
exactly, it's something that
It gets, I don't know, it gets, people laugh it away quite quickly.
yeah, and
It's like a funny thing.
Follow it with 3 or 4 beers.
Yeah. Well, let me be open about where I am right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sober. I'm sober right now, but I'm not staying away from drinking. I don't overdrink. I don't drink at home. That's one of my rules. Well, by myself. Like, if I have a friend over, we can have a drink. But I don't keep alcohol in the house because it's too dangerous for me. That's way too slippery. Cannot handle that. But I also feel like being this open about my alcohol addiction, and also being open about sobriety and the very issues and the paranoia that came with that. I think I probably scared a lot of people away from me. But at the same time, it really, really helped me. Just putting it out there, being very open about it. All my friends know about it. Like, and I have a couple of friends who just check me every now and then. They're like, "Are you sure you're good right now?" I have a couple of friends who are very, very strict with me, and I don't know.
It's maybe helped you like take distance from, let's say, enablers and those who don't enable.
Yeah, I feel like I really opened up a discussion with everyone.
Yeah, it's an interesting position,
right?
Yeah,
because like this stigma, like from one hand we see people who struggle and it's on everyone's life, like everyone. I mean, talking about myself and people around me, I have seen it so many times, and it's always this like, like keep it under. But then this is also the problem, because then you fall again and again in these circles that are the problem, like in these social situations perhaps, or places that people around you don't know, and then you're confronted. So I think like it's this big contrast of, we don't want to hear about this, you're not supposed to, you have to keep it, but at the same time you have to overcome it also.
It's a very strong cultural thing.
Yeah.
Especially I feel like with alcohol, where it's you can
socially
get it
acceptable,
everywhere. Like when I went sober for the very first time, like I was only at home. Like I did not see anyone. Like I couldn't, because everything was a trigger, and like it slowly became better and better. Like I got stronger. I knew. I started learning myself how to deal with certain things, but also ran into a lot of people very opinionated about it, and like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, you're 25 years old. Are you doing this for your girlfriend? Like, are you doing this for your mom? Like, I'm not. Like, trying to stay safe. Like, and I don't know, I feel like with me being a male and this young, I don't know, people don't expect it, and might rub them the wrong way. Might be, how you said it before? Confronting? Yeah. I don't know, fuck it. It really helped me, and I know that some people actually thanked me about how open I was about it, because it helped them being more open about it, which is really, really special to me. And being able to now have a conversation with someone who's going down a similar path, and being able to actually like give them tips on like very pragmatic things, like get this instead of this, or like have a look at this website, or have a look at this community.
Yeah, I think that's also like a really quite a daring position that you took.
Sorry?
It's a daring position that you took to make it, to put it in your music.
I had to do that for myself also.
Yeah,
just in order to grow, and not being just stuck in the same
fall back
dumbass
into
cycle.
it.
Like it's.
But do you think this openness is a way to be? Like, I mean, because you have experienced it now and you're quite open about your life. And like, do you think it's a way for all of us to be? Because to me, like, I really try to be open about these things, and I think it's, yeah, how to explain it simply. For example, when you're open, as you say, about your addiction, then people are also understanding, and like, it becomes also a solution, right, to a lot of things, this way of living, this openness. So I'm curious, like, how it has impacted overall your life, this, like, from the moment you decide, okay, I'm going to put everything out there and people can see it. And
yes, at the moment you have a beer, it's not just you judging that anymore, eh?
No, it's more than that. Yeah.
yeah, no, but I mean, also, like, to a bigger degree, like, is your life more, like, now that it's open for everyone to see, and who Ghiel is, do you also feel more comfortable with this? Like, has
Yes
it
and no.
impacted your life, or you're still the same and it's just, it impacts the people around
I mean,
you?
I know that I grew from it. I'm much more happy than I was when I was making an album. I'm way, way, way healthier. I'm closer to my family. I feel like I'm better with my friendships even, and but at the same time, like, it really was an enormous struggle, and like I have quite a tendency for paranoia, and that became really, really big at one point. Like, that was really fucked.
Because of sharing, you mean? Like, you thought that people really knew what
I
was...
thought so much. I was scared in the streets, like, just, yeah. And I had that in different ways, but now it was only me, and it was very lonely at times, and yeah, I don't know. A couple of things happened also that were not as fun. I'm not going to talk about that on recording also, but
Let's put them in the album.
yeah, I mean, I lost a couple of friendships, and
yeah, you would.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, because it sounds like a two kind of
it does.
sided thing.
Yeah.
Like, this openness can, of course, feel
I mean, I don't know.
relieving.
I feel like I won a lot from it, but I also lost certain things, and I'm not always sure about how much grief I should feel for it too, because it's just the next step, I guess. And apparently, you're not a part of it. It's acceptance again. Yeah.
And I think that's quite difficult. Like, I can relate to a lot of what you say, and also think, like, because of all these pre-learned concepts we were talking about before, like, we have really learned when something is problematic a lot of times to push it aside or take it out of our lives. Like, oh, okay, Ghiel has a problem, so, you know, like, so I think is a very important step to find this. Okay, actually, like, we all have problems. Maybe yours are different than mine, but in the end of the day, yeah, maybe we need to find this acceptance also for others, also for ourselves, and like, I'm thinking, how can maybe this be a way to go forward? You know, like, stop throwing away everything that doesn't work and just be open about it and like, just accept it.
No.
So
yeah, no, I fully agree.
when you said, like, I also get that feeling for myself. So thank you a lot, like, for being so open with these things, because, like, yeah, it's helping other people who think in that way also. It's like, I mean, I know you said you might feel alone, but to me it's like, yeah, I feel this connection, and thank you for being so
I'm
open.
happy to hear that. Yeah.
I think that might be a nice place to sort of wrap it up.
I think it should be, yeah.
We've got a few minutes still for an hour, because Instagram Live goes for an hour. So I'm wondering if anyone has any questions for our guest today. there's a
delay,
red
right?
delay,
Yeah.
so we need to wait a little bit. Yeah, if we don't hear anything, that was it for today. We hope you've enjoyed the live broadcast. How can I listen to this album?
Spotify, Ghiel the best.
Spotify.
We can share some links, like, if
we can share some links.
Yep.
That's Jan.
How can I listen to this album?
you can kill your sound.
Okay. Spotify. Share some links, like, if you share some links. That's Jan.
No, it's just Ghiel the Best on Spotify. You will find everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I mean, we can also put it on our Instagram
Yeah.
so people can.
Yeah.
Is
Any more questions for Ghiel de Best? Thank you guys. Have a lively day. Oh,
Yeah.
shall we? Would you like to see the stinging nettle
Sorry?
mix?
What?
We've got. Oh no, we'll leave that. There's a magic potion here in the back.
Say what? Oh shit, we're messing with witchcraft now. All right.
well, I think we don't have.
I think it's all just thanks and applause.
Thank you for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.